plenty of ways to raise your rep in the neighborhood this weekend. And now let's check out the latest legends in NBA 2K20.
$2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Up next, the Trailblazers taking on the Timberwolves. For the Portland Trailblazers, plenty of confidence coming into tonight's game. A win here would leave them with the 7th best record in the league. Timberwolves, Blazers. Don't leave your seat. We'll be right back.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey y'all, thanks for joining us. We'll watch the Minnesota Timberwolves in this one as they go up against the Portland Trailblazers at Moda Center. Taking a look at the Trailblazers, these guys are playing good basketball with 7 wins in their last 10 games, and they like their chances tonight. Winding down the backstretch, Shaq. Every team looking to finish the season strong. It's kind of like a horse race.
Yeah, for the playoff teams, they want momentum going in. Nothing builds confidence like a hot streak.
Is that the horse? He's moving. He's moving. He went.
And down the stretch they come.
Secretariat. You know the Secretariat? Oh, my God.
You have anything to say about this?
Well, rebuilding teams, you know, they like a high note. They like closing strong. A positive outlook. Heading into the last offseason. And it's Ernie Johnson for the win.
Oh, just got beaten by a nose.
Hello, fans. Welcome to this presentation of the NBA Sunday night action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brent Berry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. Now let's take a moment to check out our race for Rookie of the Year. Here are some of the top young talents in the game who will be recognized as the best of the best. You know, there have been moments for him this year, but overall it just doesn't look like he'll finish near the top of the list.
And although he's not even among the top 10 rookies right now, he's still one of my picks to make some big strides in his sophomore season.
Sometimes to jump from year 1 to year 2 can be significant, just in terms of your understanding of the game and what's expected of you from your team as a professional.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the...
Well, guys, when LaMarcus Aldridge left the Blazers for San Antonio in 2015, most expected a rebuild in Portland. But Blazers GM Neil Olshey said there was never going to be any bottoming out. There was development. We brought in quality, undervalued players, and they've begun to thrive in our system and our culture. Kevin, they have reason to be proud in Portland.
Indeed, there is. Thanks, David. Brent, at this point, perennial contenders sometimes coast through the final games of the regular season. Any danger that they can't hit that right button or flip the switch and get back into gear?
When you hear analysts say that the playoffs are all about matchups, they are exactly right. You and I talked about this, Kevin, several years ago about going into the playoffs. Teams don't have to be hot. You don't have to be 10-2 in the last 12 games for your playoffs, because all of a sudden, if you're matched up against a team that's owned you all year long, your chances of winning that series are very, very slim. So it becomes just let's get in and let's find out who we're playing, and then we'll get to work.
And checking out Minnesota's opening line. Oh, the power on that throwdown!
Unreal. If I was scoring that, Kevin, I'm giving that a strong 9 from Chase.
And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Portland Trailblazers. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
Now here's Brown. 38 points for him last game against Oklahoma City.
And 3 blocks on the game as well. I mean, he was going all out and making plays defensively.
And there's Lillard. That's good on the assist by McCollum. Lillard's got his second basket. Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
Well, Portland being up there in the PNW, that's the Pacific Northwest, always means a lot of air miles. Matter of fact, they lead the league pretty much every year in distance travel.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. On the wing, Che. Covered by Lillard.
You just cannot have any fear. Once you commit to taking it to the hoop, Che showing some guts.
Right, you talk about all that travel for the Blazers. That can wear you down.
Well, interesting. The Blazers have done some particular things off the floor for their players, bringing in UV lights into the locker rooms, coffee before the game. It's very much hipster Pacific Northwest.
The turnaround jumper. Count it. Shea's got 6. Trailblazers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Lillard from outside. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And finished off by Brown.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Lillard from outside. It's rebounded by Walden. For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Offensive rebound, Morris. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Terrific score there off the miss by Morris. Doesn't get a ton of offensive rebounds, but making that one count.
Adams, the pass to Lillard. Puts it up. Keeps it alive. It's rebounded by Towns. Timberwolves leading by 4. Here's Che. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Pretty lax defense there. He's going to see fewer and fewer chances if he can't bury those kind of jumpers.
Little kicks to Young. Lillard scanning the floor. The kick out to Young. Off target from three-point range.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Lillard. Following the basket by Che. And again, unable to change momentum here.
Things are going south right now. This is not the type of shooting that his teammates expect from him.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Now here's Little. After the miss from Axel Walden. Greg, let's take a look at Nasir Little. More power and athleticism at this point than skill, wouldn't you say?
I mean, no doubt. As an amateur, he could rely on the physical gifts to dominate. But in the NBA, you have to be able to shoot and handle with confidence. I think Little will get there because he has a tremendous work ethic.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Nurkic checked in for Adams. Collins comes in for Young. And it's Simons in for Damian Lillard. Simons the pass to Little. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Brown jams it in.
Well, that basket started with the steal from Che.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat, Greg. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Jeffries has checked in. And here's a list of players that have been coming through for their team on both ends of the floor. The point guards with the most steals over the course of the last month. Shea, number 1.
And all those swipes have come for him because of that endless energy with which he plays on the defensive end. I mean, whoever he's guarding, he sticks to them like glue on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's like wearing a bad suit. You can't get it off you. I don't care how good your handles are, he's going to get his share of steals each and every night. That's a guarantee.
Shot by Collins, no good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Trailblazers trail by 8. Now here's McCollum. In the game against Detroit, very impressive. Simons, the pass to Nurkic. The shot, no good. The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. Brown, and finished off by Brown.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Yeah, the bully ball tonight has paid dividends. Highly effective down there with the physical play.
Here's McCollum. From deep three-point range, and the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's Minnesota with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. And thanks to their outstanding defense, the impact Damian Lillard has had on this game has been minimal. We've got more in store for you right after this. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship.
That's ones. Both teams making substitutions here. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Thunder put on a show. He dropped in 38 points, and his percentage was impressive, making a number of his free throws and field goal attempts. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
David, we appreciate the update. Greg, we'll see if he can keep rolling here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the rub. When he's in rhythm, he can carry your team across the line.
And you want to see him make sure that the teammates are also involved in what they're doing, especially if he draws that much attention.
We've got Damian Lillard. Young is out there with Little. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Simons in at the 2 guard. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And the dunk by Jay.
I like his demeanor right now, too. Che letting his game do the talking. He's pouring it in right now.
Each team has a catalyst, Brent. Some guys are ball dominant, who play within the flow of the offense. Is there one approach better than the other?
Obviously, great coaches, Kevin, are going to find what it is that their best player does well. And as many times as I could get my best player into that situation, that's what I'm going to do. So if it's Harden in isolation, James Harden's going to be in isolation. If it's Steph Curry setting off-ball screens and relocating for threes, well, I'm going to do that too. So it all comes down to a fit with the player, his skill set, and how the coach wants to use that best.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throw of the game right now. McCollum's checked in for Anthony Simmons. Free throw drops for Walden.
And what you like about Walden, his work ethic. He knows he has a great skill set and just wants to get the most out of it.
Passes to Lillard. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Yeah, that first quarter was a bit shaky. Good to see a player who doesn't let a slow start get to him.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
That free throw good from Lillard.
And for a guy who entered the league as a terrific free throw shooter, Damian Lillard is now among the elite of the elite from the stripe.
Shea drives in. Can't hit that one. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And in that one, the backups came to play. Gave the team an infusion of points that just put them over the top.
Well, I talked to the assistant coaching staff. What they were stoked about is that the bench guys came in and played well. So punch off the bench, a big factor in that win.
To the inside. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Steven Adams picks one up.
Back when I first saw him in Summer League, one of the things that I liked about Shea is that he invites the contact, does not shy away from those kind of plays.
And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Trailblazers. It's a 10-point game. For Portland, they have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
Well, Adams has his struggles at the free throw line, but he's making strides in that area and still has work to do.
Here's Adams. He had 16 points in the win against Detroit. And it's Lillard missing. Minnesota leading by 9. It's stolen by Little. Lillard outside. Here's Adams. Towns with the defensive effort.
How about the timing he shows there to...
Lightning.
That was incredible.
You have got to be kidding.
Hey, talk about taking things into your own hands. And so it's Minnesota. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, what do you like about the way the team's playing so far?
We're competitive right now. We're going after it. In our possession, we're going hard.
We'll see if that continues in the second half, Andrew. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
They're just way too easy out there, and I'm sure Coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Kicking off the second half, here's Taylor Jenkins's 5. Marcus Morris is out there with Walden. Then it's Shea. Then it's Culver. And it's Towns in at the 5.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Kicks it out to Shea. That's in, coming off the assist from Axel Walden. And now 24 points for Shea.
D has been just completely helpless and turned around. He's so dangerous when he's in this kind of rhythm.
Adams dishes to Lillard. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Timberwolves leading by 15. The drive by Shea. And Shea throws it down hard.
Hard to deny. Shea right there fighting every step of the way to get to the bucket. That's why he's here.
Lillard against Brown. McCollum deciding where to go with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Portland no good that time either.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses. And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
Little kicks to McCollum. Floats one. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Culver's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable 3-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
So for the Trailblazers, Zach Collins checked in for Young. And it's Simons in for Lillard. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Noel's checked in for Morris. And Lehman subbed in for Culver. That one is no good. Brett, when you look back on all the stars you played against during your career, who was the biggest intimidator?
Well, I think about intimidating players, and the first word that comes to mind is Anthony Mason. I know he wasn't a bona fide star player, but
right.
You know the role that he had for
Yes,
the teams that he played with, and Anthony Mason was a player you did not want to be playing against. During my era, most of the years that I had some successes and minutes on the floor, it was certainly Kevin Garnett. The way that KG approached every game, and you spent many seasons watching him very closely, from year 1 to year 18 or 19, KG came at you every game, every night with the same kind of zest and excitement to compete.
Well put. Here's Simons, and the rejection by Noel.
Noel in there to intimidate, and does so there.
Brown wide open, he fires. They get it back. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, easy call.
The Timberwolves have only one missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them. That's good from Noel. Brown against Lillard, and the foul called on Shea. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
At the line for Trailblazers, Damian Lillard. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Lillard. Both good from the line that time. Shea with it. 28 points for him. Tries again. Can't capitalize inside. And so is Shea making things happen for Minnesota. A grand total of 28 points for him in the game now. They have no answer for him defensively. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great hands, great vision. That makes great things happen for your offense.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Trailblazers trail by 21. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Little out there with Young. And it's Jeffries in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Brown, good.
He's played a huge role in this game to this point, but it looks like he just wants more. He wants to make sure that this lead holds up.
McCollum with the bounce pass. Young finds McCollum. And Culver pulls it down.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
McCollum outside. Pass to Lillard. Lock at 6. Back to McCollum. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Well, the coach has confidence in CJ taking that shot, and so CJ has confidence in making it.
Wiggins outside. Timberwolves passing it around. And Shea throws it down.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Oh, that's how you drive your point home right there. Now Lillard. Little kicks to Lillard. Brent, you know, the NBA not the only league with great players and great play. Talk about some of the other prominent leagues around the world. There's some terrific competition.
There's some great competition overseas in the Turkish leagues. Some very good players that play in the Russian league. There are some great players who are coming out of Australia, and we're actually seeing players now skip playing in the G League to go down to Australia to start their development and professional career. So when we talk about the world game, Kevin, we're not joking around. It's a very real thing, and we continue to invite the best players that we can find, and they come from all over.
Oh boy, the touch is coming back here in the second half. Percentages from the field much better than it was at the break.
Wow, he got whacked on that, which shouldn't be much debate there.
Free throw, good. Shane.
Rare to see a four-year college player out on an NBA floor, but I think it helped Shea develop on the floor and off.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Here is Jeffries. He's covered by Noel. Trent passes to Miles. Lets the three fly. They get the rebound.
Well, a missed box out and an easy tip in, but it's because of the activity as the ball is going up, Kevin, finding yourself in the right spot, just using some effort.
Here's Trent. He feeds it to Miles. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Brent, with advanced analytics becoming commonplace in the NBA, which stats do you personally hold most value?
Well, it's amazing to talk about effective field goal percentage. I laugh a lot about...
Which is everything shooting, free throws.
Yeah, well, I like to use true shooting percentage, Kevin, because that's where you adopt three-point shooting percentage, two-point shooting percentage, and your free throw percentage.
Everything.
But in talking to a lot of people around the league, general managers and coaches, I laugh inside to myself a little bit like, oh, so now shooting's important? Like what? Like now shooting's important around the league?
Right.
As if, you know, the time that you go out to start playing basketball, you grab a ball, you go towards the goal, and your goal is to make the shot. And so we're talking so much more about how much shooting is valued. Effective field goal percentage is tremendous, with true shooting percentage being not far behind.
And finished off by Collins.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it's pretty incredible when you look at the body of work this year, guys. I mean, when they hit 70 wins, we were astounded. And then now, the wins continuing to pile up in what's been truly a remarkable and special season.
And this will be their third win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Jay.
Now, this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
Here's Trent, covered by Jay, and the rejection by Noel. And it's out of bounds as the Portland Trail Blazers retain possession. And here's Miles. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which they...
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You'd never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And that about wraps it up. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. See you next time.
Hey, this is Kenny, man. You've been pretty much unstoppable the last few games. What's the difference over this stretch?
I think putting in extra time with the coaching staff, extra time in the film room, it really allowed me to see the game a little differently, identifying opportunities that I might have been slipping last time and not just on an individual, man. I want to do everything I can to help my teammates succeed as much as possible.
Well, your success is helping theirs. Keep it up.
Now on the other platform, let's take a look at the brackets. We're down to 4. On one side, we have Havoc and Class Guy, who've had some pretty good, solid games all around. And on the other side, some big storylines. In the first round, a big
And now, your Minnesota Timberwolves starting 5. At the power forward position, at 6'9" number 13, Marcus Morris. Starting at shooting guard, 6 feet 7 inches, number 23, Jared Over.
Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. This is Kevin Harlan. DA, it's all yours.
Well, if you ask Karl Anthony Towns, his greatest strength is his versatility. He said, "My dad taught it to me at a young age, and it's made my transition at every step of my career comfortable, having the fundamentals and foundation. I don't limit myself. I try to be great at all skills." Kevin?
Yeah, terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. And with most of the season in the books, the power rankings have really taken shape. Taking a look at Chicago, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when you look at the Timberwolves, they've just crushed expectations all season long. Only a few people thought they could sustain this level of excellence, but here they are.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. Green down low with Looney. Russell is out there with Thompson. And it's Cephalosha in at the small forward position. And for Minnesota, Marcus Morris is out there with Towns. Then it's Culver. Then there's Walden. And it's Brown in at the 1 spot. We have a good rivalry game tonight with 2 conference foes. This should be a beauty.
Yes, indeed. I think the fans feel it. The coaches feel it. Us as announcers, we feel it. The atmosphere is going to be great.
It is indeed. Russell with it. Picked up by Brown. Thompson looking for an opening. Russell, no luck. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Brown, he's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Jay got thumped on that play. Hard to knock him off balance.
On offense, here are the Warriors. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And they brought the energy. I thought played well, but both teams really put on a great show. Unfortunately, someone had to lose.
Nothing to hang their heads over. When you have 2 evenly matched teams on a given night, it's anyone's ball game.
And the basket is good.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Yeah, these guys need to work together as a team, as a unit. Try and carve out some easy buckets.
Russell with a wide open look. He drains the quick shot. Russell's got his second bucket.
Showing patience, taking time to read the defense. Draymond finds the open man.
So for the Timberwolves, their last game a win against the Trailblazers. Thompson dishes to Russell. Knocked loose. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Culver. Good. Nice job down low. Culver's got his second basket of the night.
And the decision-making proving to be outstanding. Culver just has a knack for taking advantage of the D in the open floor.
Now, here is Russell. He's coming off a 28-point game against Denver.
Yeah, and I look at his total effect on the scoring, both as a passer and a shooter. Incredibly productive.
Here's Che after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Che left side. Here's Towns, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
They're getting him shots in his spots. That's understanding your personnel.
Shot from the wing. Second shot opportunity, and there's the play by Morris inside.
Terrific score there off the miss by Morris. Doesn't get a ton of offensive rebounds, but making that one count.
Green finds Russell. 1:46 left in the first. Clock at 4. Golden State needs to get off a shot. And he's good on the 3-ball. Russell's got 11 points.
They have leaned on him all quarter, and it has worked to perfection.
And Draymond Green does so much on the floor. It's hard to quantify by any measurement.
And people have called Draymond a product of the system before. But I don't care where he is. Draymond is going to be a major impact with his defense and playmaking.
Shea drives in and finished off by Brown.
So quick into the lane, and then the huge finish. Shea gives the defenders no time to react.
Timeout called the Warriors. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, they've got Jones. Evans out there with Russell. And it's Pascal in at the small forward. And slam dunk by Noel.
There's no bigger play in a close game than a putback slam.
Oh, and that one's got them all hyped up. Wow.
They're bringing the energy, the hustle, the fight, and they also didn't give up on that possession.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Trailblazers got the job done. He ended up with 43 points and throughout the game took smart, efficient shots that found the bottom of the net. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks. It'll be interesting to see, Greg, how much of that performance carries over to tonight.
And, Kevin, different scenarios call for different measures. I'm sure he'll just try to provide whatever they need for the win.
Well, that's what it means to be unselfish.
Oh, the power on that throwdown.
What is this? The dunk contest? Jay putting up a 10.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And some changes here for the Warriors. Looney's checked in for Jones. Draymond Green comes in for Amari Spellman. And Thabo Cephalosha subbed in for Evans. Now the spotlight usually is on the head coach. With Smitty, what makes for a great assistant coach on a staff in your eyes?
Well, I think when he have a great relationship with the coaches and also he has a great relationship with the players. I also love the assistant coaches that are very detailed. And also some of those guys, they have great insight on what a coach can't see. It's still a team, and there's some great assistants out there.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
They're playing well. They're building momentum. This is how they can turn a small lead into a big one.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
And as fans and broadcasters, we're not permitted to hear the specifics in these huddles.
No, we're left to infer from the adjustments we see on the floor.
And let's see the leading three-point teams in the NBA. The Warriors, number 1.
The threat of deep shooting makes everything easier
offensively. They've been incredibly accurate from long range.
Here's Brown.
He's just relentless in his approach. Makes Che a very difficult guy to defend.
The Timberwolves shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And both free throws good for Che.
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
Here's Russell. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
A developing shot maker. I'm a fan of Russell's unwavering commitment to his craft.
Woo, that's just a case of bad defense and even worse offense.
Here's Cephalosha. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. 5 to shoot. Passes it to Looney. Outside Russell. Shoots over Brown. And it's off the back rim. No good.
With floor spacing at a premium, they need him to hit these shots. Made just that one in the first.
Reading the court well, leave someone open on AW squad, and you're going to pay.
Outside Russell. Again, Russell missing.
I mean, he's staying aggressive, trying to regain his touch. But right now, he's hurting the team.
Took him no time at all on that one. Brown's got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves.
Heat check after heat check. Che continues to show that this is his night.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, just looking to tighten up their defense in the paint. They've got to be better.
It's a matter of want to. Helping out, contesting shots. You have to want to make the effort.
And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for him.
And it's striking how much his three-point shooting has improved this month. His long-range percentage is coming up, and that's going to give them a lift as a team. You can never have enough reliable threats from beyond the arc.
Cephalosha misses, and here are the Timberwolves. This one now up to 13-2. Brown jams it in!
His ability to create off the bounce makes Che a very tough cover.
The pass to Cephalosha. Thompson the bounce pass. Green kicks to Russell. Pass to Looney. Thompson from long range. It's rebounded by Walden.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And the shot goes in. And that's now 19 points for Che.
From mid-range, Che's not worried about what the analytics say. He's just trying to get buckets.
From deep. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. That'll do it for the first half. Timberwolves lead by 15. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Hey, Draymond, at times in that first half, they got it going in transition. Why were they able to beat you defensively?
I don't think it was so much defensively, but it was offensively. You know, we turned the ball over, and you can't defend that. You know, when they get out running, their guards are going to get loose. So we just got to stop turning the ball over offensively, and that'll help our defensive turn.
Yeah, your coach calls them plays of insanity, Draymond, so we'll see if you can adjust that in the second half. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Well, you look at Che in this game, he has been everywhere.
His play so far is what fans love about him. He has gone right at the defense time and time again.
And not standing around, not settling for perimeter shots. He's looking to attack.
Well, we've got a moment left set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Minnesota, they've got Walden. Downs is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Culver, and it's Brown in at the point guard position. That one falls. 17 points for D'Angelo Russell.
An active competitor, Russell won't go down without a fight, especially around the rim.
And stolen by Russell. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Russell's running. And Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by Russell.
He has to show real leadership out there and take this game into his own hands because he's shooting the ball well.
Shea drives in.
Usually a good bet. When Shea is at the rim, he's being aggressive.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Russell against Brown. Russell passes to Looney. Back to Russell. Goes up on the wing, and the Warriors tack on 2 more.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Russell against Brown. Over Russell. Towns trying to get open, and he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Shea's got 6 points in the quarter. Well, the former UCLA Bruin, Kevon Looney, not a top option, but he knows how to contribute.
I love the energy and movement that Looney plays with. Doesn't create a lot on his own, but he always picks his spots, and he can finish a play if you take your eye off him.
Just 5 on the clock. Here's Russell. The teardrop falls in. Russell's got 21.
And still perfect in the second half. 4 straight makes.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Steve, the number of timeouts and even fouls have dropped in recent years. Do you think that's brought a better flow to the game?
Yeah, I think so. I know we have so much stoppage in our game, especially when they go to the referee's review. If we could do something about that, but I love that they've dropped the number of timeouts to keep the flow of the game. That's what most fans want to see, just the flow of the game continue.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Jones checked in for Looney, and Spellman subbed in for Green. Pass to Spellman. Cephalosha against Brown. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns.
Oh,
yes. Goodness. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Here's Thompson. Got a piece of it. Passes it to Reed. Wants to get it to Brown and does. 2 points. That one goes. Shea's got 10 points in just the second half.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Timeout called the Warriors. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. And it's Evans with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Warriors. They trail by 9 points. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. Start a 3-game homestand with that game. Setting the floor for the Warriors. Green down low with Looney. Klay Thompson is out there with Evans. And it's Pascal in at the 3 slot. Here's Brown. Chalk up 2 there. Brown's got 31.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Evans with it. Launches a 3. And another 3 for Golden State.
And that field goal percentage climbing now above 50%. They look like a different team here in the second half.
Brown. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
He's a difficult guy to guard off the bounce. Shea catches the defender a little out of position.
That free throw missing. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Noel. And Golden State also making a change. Russell, he's checked in for Jacob Evans. Warriors trail by 6. Thompson in the corner. Misses the 3.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Another shot. And there's the nice layup by Culver. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
And they continue to control the glass.
Deep 2 from Russell. It goes straight through with the swish. Russell's got 23.
So shifty with the ball in his hands. Russell changes pace with the best of them.
The 9-foot shot. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Both sides attacking. That was good defense versus good offense.
It's rebounded by Walden. Minnesota leading by 6. Pulls up on the wing. Shea's shot is off. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. The drive by Russell.
And, you know, we talk about feel and reading the situation. Russell gets an opening there and does not flinch.
Russell against Brown. There's the pass to Walden. He kicks it to Morris. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Brown. That's in, coming off the assist from Axel Walden. Walden's got 6 assists now in the game. Warriors trail by 6. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Here's Russell. Green breaking loose. And that one's good. Russell's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, the leadership skills on display there. Getting it done when it matters most. D'Angelo Russell.
Minnesota calls timeout. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Shea.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
Tabo Cephalosha has checked in for Golden State. Here's Brown. And it's Russell with the rebound. Russell's got 5 rebounds tonight. On the wing, Thompson. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Thompson's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Warriors. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter and stolen by Russell. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court.
And at 6'7", Thompson could be a nightmare to match up with down low. The defense pretty much has to foul him when he's that far inside and hope he misses.
He drops the first one, and that ties the game up. And so both free throws good that time, and that puts him ahead.
Tight ball game. Who do you want at the charity stripe? This guy.
Timberwolves shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Here's Brown, and Brown throws it down hard.
They really needed that one, and Chase steps up as usual.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Up top, Russell. Goodbye, Che. Pulls up on the elbow, and Russell gets it to go. Russell's got 14 points now in the second half. Game winding down, and they just keep changing leads.
And guys, no separation yet, and I really don't think we're going to see any all the way down.
Great an opportunity for himself. Che with the beautiful finish off the bounce.
Russell looking around. Releases from 15, and the Warriors tack on 2 more.
No, he didn't. I mean, Russell with the savage move there. Game on the line.
He got it again. Sensational.
That'll do it. 40 points for him, and he's pulled even.
And to think, GA, at the start of the year, we'd see someone match the record for most 40-point games? Simply spectacular.
And to tie the mark of 63 games of 40 or more, it's just awe-inducing. To score 40 or more in over 3/4 of the NBA season is something that players don't even dream of.
The shot by Looney, no good. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possession.
It's good!
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're behind by 3. There's 31 seconds left in the game. What's your take, guys?
Hey, they do have enough time here if they shoot quickly to get the 2 for 1. We'll see if they try.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, well, Steve Kerr talked to his team during the last timeout. He told them, look, guys, we're running out of time. If we're going to make a move, it's got to be now. Are you guys ready to make a move? They all nodded, and he said, then go take it. Kevin?
Timeout called the Warriors. They're down by 3. 29 seconds left to play in the final quarter. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Russell. No good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And that's an intentional foul. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
It's the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
Outspoken about what he believes. Jay's been both celebrated and persecuted for it.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
Nice job extending the lead and making this a 2-possession game now.
They've got to take the first good shot they can find.
And even if they make it, they need an immediate foul no matter who catches the ball.
Got it! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
He lives for moments like this because he wants to be the guy to hit the clutch shot.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
Big moment at the line. As poised as you get, this thing is done.
And taken away by Brown, and finished off by Brown.
When it matters most, Che is right there, accountable and deadly.
And so Minnesota takes the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Greg Anthony and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey again, everybody.
Hey, man, this is Kenny, man. I thought your coach did a great job on the offensive end to get you open. Getting you into a rhythm was important. What was he telling you before the game?
You know, Kenny, he was just telling me to stay patient, man. Work within the system. We do a good job of creating space to give scorers like myself room to operate. That spacing also allows us to control the matchups, forces the defense to make difficult decisions and adjustments. It's all about the spacing, man, spacing.
Yep, and we're going to give you some space, man. Go get your shower, man.
Will do.
And that's going to do it for tonight. For Kenny, for Shaq, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he is. This is Ernie Johnson saying good night. We'll see you again soon.